Hello everyone. In today's video lecture, we are going to discuss everything related to paper publication. Okay, so basically here we are going to discuss about what is basically the publication of paper is, why do we need, where can we publish, and what is the procedure for that. Okay, so starting with the first thing, that what is paper publication? All right, what is paper publication? So basically, if you have some new findings, or you have done research, or if there is a unique case study that you have worked on, so these kind of materials are being published in research journals, right? So if you have done some research work, or you have find out some new things through your scientific experiments, or you are performing some case study where you have used some new methodology, some new technique to solve a practical problem or a conventional problem. So these type of work are being published so that this can be read by the experts and the persons who are working in the same field, right? So this is what the paper publication is. It is when you submit your new findings or research and the case study. How did you achieve it? What methodology did you follow? And what were the conclusion? Like that, right? So everything is included in the paper publication. The next thing is that why do we need to go for the paper publication? So apart from being a mandatory criteria in variety of during your PhD research work and other master's work or master courses, the main aim of paper publication is the recognition. Your work is basically read by the experts. Your work is read by the fellow peers who are working in the same field as you are, and by reading your research or your case study, they get to know about you, like you are working in that specific field, and if they want to collaborate with you, or if they want to refer to your study and conduct their own study, so that kind of recognition is what that you get from your paper publication. Okay. Apart from that, in PhD, it's a mandatory criteria, because having your paper published, it shows that your research work is of excellent quality, right? Your paper work, your research work, or the case study that you have worked is of excellent quality, right? So that is why it is a mandatory criteria in your PhD, as well as in some of the institute in masters also. It is mandatory criteria to have at least one paper published during your master's work, right? So that is why you uh, publish your papers or your research work in the reputed journals, right? Now coming to the next, that where do you publish? All right, where do you publish? So we have the scientific journals. So basically, there are number of journals, just like magazines. In you can in scientific areas you can call it them as journals, right? So we have a variety of magazines, right? And basically these scientific journals are affiliated to various eminent organizations, right? And basically these eminent organizations start their own journals, and basically you submit your research work or your specific case study into these scientific journals, where you submit those into these journals, and then they pass on through variety of stages, right? So your paper or your research work is submitted to the editor. From the editor, if the editor feels that your work is original, your work is unique, and your work addresses the current problem or a global problem, then editor invites some of the reviewers, and these reviewers are again expert in their field and the field in which the paper has been submitted, in the field in the work has been done. And these reviewers, normally 2 to 3 reviewers, are referred. They review, they go through your research work, and then they give the comments, either to accept the paper with certain revisions or to reject it as a whole. Okay, so you submit your papers into the scientific journals, and then the publication process starts, or the scrutiny process starts, and then after passing the scrutiny process, your paper is accepted for the publication in that specific journals. All right. So how do we go for this publication process, right? What is the what basically is this paper publication process? What is this paper publication process? So, to publish a paper, as we have already stated that it is published in journals. Basically, there are two ways of paper publishing. Either you can directly submit your research work into a journal, or you can submit your paper into a conference that is affiliated to some journal. Okay, we are going to discuss about this in detail. Okay, so let's take up the journal criteria first. So basically, as we have already cleared out, the journals are nothing but a magazine or a book, you can say, and basically they invite the researchers to submit your research into their magazine or their book, to simplify, it's a magazine or a book. And then if your work is up to the standard of the respective journal, they publish it into their issue. All right. So talking about journals, basically we can bifurcate into two categories. The first is the UGC approved journals, and the second one, I'll categorize them as a SCI or Scopus indexed journals. Okay, so like I'll be UGC is the educational body of India, right? It is University Grant Commission, and basically what it does is that it gives approval to variety of universities. It gives approval to variety of journals. Okay. So basically, what happens is that UGC scrutinize the journals that are of Indian origin, right? And based upon the quality and the ethic of journal publication, they give approval. They give approval to certain journals, that is Indian journals. So if you are from some other country, of course, there will be some educational body of your country, and they will manage some of. They will be looking into the various journals that are indigenous to your country, and or the public and of your origin of your country, and then based upon the quality and the ethics of the publication that specific journal follows, it gives the approval, right? So basically, you see what happens is that the UGC approved journals are mostly paid journals. Okay, these are somewhat paid journals. Talking about the paid journals, basically what they do is you submit your study. Yeah, right, you submit your study to a journal, right? And what these journals say is that you submit or you submit some cash amount, or you pay some cash amount, and once you pay the amount, the journal process the scrutiny criteria, and and then what they do is they accept your research work for their publication. All right. Now the catch is, since you are paying the money, right? Since you are paying the money, so even if your work is of inferior quality, or even if your work is of superior quality, it doesn't matter to the journal. Since you are paying for the publication, they accept your publication, right? So Many a times what happens is many good researchers get fished into the publication into these paid journals, and what they do is they like once you have submitted to once your work is published in one journal, you are not conventionally allowed to get it published in some other journal, right? So you have wasted your research work or submit your research work into some inferior quality journal, right? So it is a one of the worst scam that takes place in the publication industry, right? So if you have done a good work and if you believe that your work is good, never ever go for the paid journals, right? Never ever go for the paid journals. Who should go for the UGC approved journals? So I'll advise, if you are a BTech student, then you can go for the publication in these in these paid journals, right? And if you are a master's or a PhD student, and if you have just begin your work and you want to submit some minor work, or just want to get to know the processing of how the paper is written and how the scrutiny happens, then you can go for these paid journals, right? Otherwise, I won't recommend that you go for these paid journals, right? Again, in UGC approved journals, you have some unpaid journals, and they have a good reputation, right? And these unpaid journals are normally are also SCIN Scopus index journals also, right? So let's discuss about these SCIN Scopus indexed journals. So basically, what happens is just like there are journals that are being approved by UGC, there are certain journals that are approved by ISI. ISI means Institute of Scientific Information. So basically, it's a research body that gives gives affiliation to the certain journals that are of high quality and have good publication ethics. Okay, so just like there are some various uh, like indexes that are being published globally, the reports that are being published globally for different fields. So just like that, you have a body that gives affiliation to certain journals, right? So those journals to which this ISI body gives the affiliation are called as SCI indexed or Scopus indexed journals, right? SCI means Science Citation Index. Okay, so basically they give a impact factor, like the greater the impact factor will be, the more quality of that journal is considered. Okay, so here what happens is that basically the quality of the work is of superior quality of the work is of superior grade. Okay, so why it is there, it's of superior grade. The reason is that, you see, first of all, it's a foreign body, so where like the scientists of around the world are being attached, right? So what happens is once you submit your paper in this SCI indexed journal, that goes to the editor. The editor looks for the plagiarism and the quality of the language that is being written conventionally written in the paper, right? Once the editor is satisfied that the work that has been submitted satisfies with the scope of the journal, the work is original, and the language in which the like the grammar and everything of the paper is of good quality. I'm not saying perfect or very good or excellent, good quality. Then the editor invites certain reviewers, right? The editor invite certain reviewers. Normally, 2 to 3 reviewers are invited to review the study. Right now, these reviewers are expert in the field of which the paper has been submitted. These reviewers go through the paper and give their critical comments. Right, either there are a number of categories in which the comments are categorized. The paper is perfect and accept as it is submitted, which rarely happens. Then it is accepted with minor corrections, which generally happens. Then it can be accepted, uh, can be means depending with the major corrections, right? And then if the quality paper is bad, then it is rejected altogether, right? This is a perfect scenario where the paper you submit is of perfect, uh, everything is perfect up to the expectations and the standards, and then the paper is submitted. That's it. The reviewer says that it should be accepted as it is. So minor corrections can be suggested, like change in language. There might be some repetition of same thing around the body of the paper, so that the reviewer may suggest. The reviewer may ask for certain explanation from the author of the paper, and once you give the reply to the reviewers, then basically after giving the reply, those replies are observed by the editor, and then the paper is accepted for the publication. Then there are certain major revision that sometimes are suggested by the reviewer. So sometimes, like there might be that more experimental investigation is being required, some extra simulation, or some extra uh, parameters to be required to evaluate your study. So, that kind of uh, work is to be done in order, and then again resubmit. Again, the resubmission is advised, and based upon that, your paper is accepted. And then, if your quality of work is of inferior quality, and like the reviewers are not satisfied with the work, then the paper is rejected altogether, right? So once the uh, reviews are given by the reviewers, and those are satisfied, the comments are satisfied, then after that the publication process start. Your paper is published in that journal, right? Now you see, since the reviewers belong to a global community, it can be either from the same country or from the foreign countries of the author, the country who has submitted the paper, right? So a global community is there that reviews the paper, right? And based upon their own standard, they review the paper, and then the publication happens, right? So the legitimacy, or the recognition of your research work becomes multifold, right? Because the paper has gone through multiple scrutiny levels, and has been reviewed by eminent personalities. So, like recognition and reliability of your research work increases. So that is why, and normally it is advised that if you have done a good work, then go for the SCI or a Scopus indexed journal, right? Because that means that your work is of original. It addresses the global problem, or it is a work that is of that's a new work in your field, right? So that is what having published in a SCI or Scopus index paper means, right? Now here in the SCI and Scopus, again you can have either the general paid, or it can be free, right? What does this paid and free means? So you see, if you have ever gone to a SCI index journal, right, through your own internet, then you must have observed that many papers cannot access, right? There is no access for that paper, and to get the access you have to pay a certain amount of money. Okay, so basically what is happening is, once the paper is is accepted for the publication in a specific SCI index journal. So what happens is that you are basically the you sign an agreement that your paper, the right of publication is now being transferred to the that journal which is publishing your work, right? So what the journal do is, they earn the money, since you are publishing it for free, right? If you are publishing it for free, so basically what they are doing is, they are earning the money by some other authors, and these authors, if they want to refer to your research work, they have to pay a certain sum, right? Or some institutes, some educational institutes, they buy the subscriptions of that journal, right? So that all the papers from that specific journal are available for reading through the server of that institute, right? So that is how basically the journals earn their money, right? Though you are submitting your paper is being published for free, and publishing it for free means more scrutiny level, right? So that the global audience want the work is of such a caliber or such a precise quality that people want to refer to your work, right? So that is why scrutiny level is very high, and that is why the repute is also very high, right? And through that, basically the through the subscription from the author or the institute, the of your published paper, the respective journals earn the money. The other way is that you by yourself can pay the journal for your publication of the work, right? And these are called as open access journals. Okay, whatever money that you pay for the publications and the journals that are open for that accept the money for the publication are termed as open access journals. Now, so if you have, even if you are submitting your work in a reputed journal with free of cost, you will note that it says also that journal is also open access. That is, it works for both. It can you can opt for free or you can pay the money for your publication. Now, being a foreign journals, normally where the UGC approved journals, I'm talking about India, UGC approved journals, if you pay for this, uh, it costs around 2,000 to 3,000 rupees. While here in SCI and Scopus Index journals, you have to pay around 80,000 to 2 lakh. Yes, 80,000 to 2 lakh rupees for getting your work published. Okay, in rupees, I'm talking about in rupees. So that is the amount of money that you have to pay. And of course, the work has to be of decent quality, like above average quality. If you're paying for your work, then of course some relaxation is given, right? But then but still the paper has to be of certain quality. It should match the minimum base quality that the journal has set, because eventually the journal is SCI or Scopus Index. That means not any work can be published here, right? Unlike few paid journals where you can publish anything and everything. Okay, so that is how you can go for the publication in SCI or Scopus Index. These are some good quality indexed journals, and you can go and if you have done an exhaustive work, then you can publish your work here. So that is when you approach directly a journal for the publication. The another way of publication of your research work is via conference. Okay, so now let us discuss the publication of your via conference. Okay, so I'll just take it here. Publication via conference. Okay, so I believe you must have seen some conference or attended some conference that is affiliated to some journal publication. If not, then I'll just describe for those who have not yet know how this works. So suppose there is an organization X. Now this organization X is organizing a conference. Let's say the conference is about sustainability, right? So what these the theme of the conference is, let's say, sustainability. So what these organizers do is, these organization what they do is they approach they approach certain journals, right? Now they approach certain journals. Now these journals, depending upon the quality of the conference that is being organized, it can be again a local journals, or it can be SCI or Scopus indexed journal, right? Depending upon the quality, right? So what happens is the organizers of the conference approach the journal to get attached with the conference, and basically the organizers invite research that is being conducted in the field of sustainability, and good quality works are to be published in the respective journals. Okay, so that is how the publication happens through the conference. All right. So depending upon the journals to which the conference is has collaborated, if it is local, then the the registration fees of the conference will be very less, while if it is of SCI Scopus, then the conference registration fee will be fairly high, right? So let's say if it is of local journal or journal of not that much repute, then it may vary from 500, while for SCI or Scopus it may go for like let's say 8,000 to 15,000 if you are academic persons, right? That is your, if you are PhD scholar or MTech scholar, then it may go for 8,000 to 15,000, right? And basically what happens is you submit your work into the conference. Okay, you submit your work, you present your work, a PPT presentation happens, and question and answer round is done by the chairperson of that session. Okay, by the chairperson of that session, and you present your work, you answer the question and answer, and that part is done. After which you submit your paper as per the instruction provided by the organizers of the journals. Okay, now as I said that it is affiliated to SCI Scopus Index or some local journals. So let's talk about the SCI Scopus. As I said that the prize money is 8,000 to 15,000, and here if you go approach that journal specifically, that price will be 80,000 to 2 lakh. Okay, so what happens is the price is somewhat in the affordable range, and you are getting a paper published in a SCI or a Scopus indexed journal, right? You are getting your paper published in a SCI or a Scopus indexed journal with a fairly reasonable amount of money, right? So the catch is that the paper that will be published, the name of the conference will be written over the journal. So basically the journal, what they do is they issue a special issue, right, in the name of that conference, and the papers that are accepted are basically published in the journals with the name of the conference written at the top, right? Again, if you're going for SCI Scopus Index conference, the quality of the paper has to be good, right? Quality of the paper still has to be of good quality, right? In comparison to what you have submitted into the journals directly. Here, if you require an excellent quality, here you can move on with the good quality of the paper. In terms of we can say that if here like exhaustive research is exhaustive experimental investigation was required, here for 2 to 3 experiment work will suffice if your work has been represented in a proper way. Again, the scrutiny level happens here also, but then since like it is being organized by a organizer, right? The conference is being organized by the organizer, so they are more interested again into the conference money, right? They're more interested into the conference money, and because of which the good quality papers, again I'm saying the quality of paper has to be of good quality, right? While here we can if the excellent quality is required, here in the conference you can go ahead with the good quality, right? And then in the same journal you can get your paper published. Now uh, I'll advise, if you are a MTech scholar or a PhD scholar, then and your work is in the initial stage, right? Or some other findings, not the main findings, but some other findings are there, or some review of the research work that you have done. If you have done those work, then what you can do is you can go and publish your work into the conference. Okay, not your main work. If you've done exhaustive work, then I advise to go directly approach that journal. Otherwise, you can publish your initial findings or your initial work into the journal, and that will be published, right? The benefit is that it gives you an advantage of, like, it gets to know, like, brings to you in the technical writing skills, right? You get introduced how to write the paper, what are the factors that are involved, and likewise. And the second thing is that you get an idea of the standard that is required for publication. Here again, you are asked for number of revisions, right, based upon the quality of paper that you have submitted, right? So you get to know about the standard that is to be there, right? So if you are MTech, or even if you are also a BTech student, and then also you can refer or submit your work into these conferences that are affiliated to SCI and Scopus, and then you can get your work published. Okay, now these local journals I won't advise you much to go, right? Though there are various like good journals of that are approved by UGC and are also affiliated to SCI Index, right? But the publishing fees is also quite high, right? But in general, I'll advise never to go if you have done a decent amount of work. I'll advise never to take these local paid journals as your first priority of submission, right? Look for some good conferences that are affiliated to SCI Scopus, right? And then get your work published. If you don't have that option, then only you should go for these local journals, because their weightage is not that much as compared to these SCN scores, because they allow each and everyone, right? It has been observed that even if very poor quality work is being published, because at the end they are interested in the money, not the quality. And it may also happen, like it happens from time to time, the UGC approves its updates its list of approved journals, right? So it may happen that today, if a journal A is approved by the UGC, right? If the journal A is being approved by UGC, tomorrow when the revised list appear, the journal is removed from the UGC approved journal list, right? Because of this poor quality and poor work ethics, right? So that happens many times. All right, so these should not be your first priority. I'll advise to go for conference. It's better. You get the conference participation certificate, you get the paper publication certificate, as well as the published paper, and having an SCI or Scopus Index paper is a good thing. All right. So this is basically is all about your paper publication, right? So I hope the lecture was helpful and is able to clear out everything about the paper publication process. Still, if you have any doubt, you can always ask in the comment section. If you want me to prepare some guidance lecture related to how to publish paper, what should be the quality of the paper, and likewise, you can always ask in the comment section, right? Anyway, so this was all. If you think the video was helpful to you, show your support by clicking the like button, and share and subscribe to the channel for more informations and knowledge like this, and do hit the bell icon for getting the regular updates. Okay, so that's all today. Thank you.